wife, don't forget that with your title of homemaker, with your responsibility of homemaker, that you have a responsibility to be a wife to your husband. Hey homemakers, welcome back to Habits of a Homemaker. My name is Angel and I am your digital homemaking coach here at Habits of a Homemaker, where I teach you how to cultivate godly character and habits within your home for the glory of God. I am also the author of How to Be a Successful Homemaker E-Guide, which is available for purchase on my website, habitsofahomemaker.com. So be sure to check that out after you watch this video. So today, ladies, I am going to be sharing with you all 5 vital things that you can do every single day to be a better helpmeet to your husband. I'm not going to prolong the video. We're going to just jump right on into it. So the first thing that you can do on a daily basis, every single day, throughout the day, all day, night, whenever, it doesn't matter the time of day, is to cover your husband in prayer. Ladies, this is so vital. And I think that sometimes it almost sounds cliche, right? We hear it so much. We know that we're supposed to do it, but how many of you are really doing it and doing it well? Okay. It is so important to cover our husbands in prayer. And you, as your husband's wife, you know your husband better than anybody else on this earth, I would hope. You, as his wife, you are one with him. With you being one and with you all being able to share and confide in one another, and you see each other and you know the struggles, you know, the challenges, things that other people don't see behind closed doors, right? You are able to go to God about your husband in prayer. You are able to intercede on his behalf. You are able to be his spiritual teammate, fighting with him, fighting for him, okay? With God on your side. And that is something that is so precious and sacred within marriage. And so, ladies, I encourage you to pray for your husbands. Cover them while they are out working and you are at home. Be his prayer warrior. Ask the Holy Spirit, even if you don't know what to pray for, ask the Holy Spirit, make me sensitive to you. Lord, what do I need to pray for today concerning my husband? Show me any areas or things that, may be troubling his heart that I can cover for him in prayer. If your husband is discouraged about something, if he's overwhelmed, if he's struggling with something, maybe he has a deadline that he has to reach at work by a certain amount of time and he's stressed out, or maybe things are getting overwhelming, with trying to prioritize family life and work and church and all of those different things, you are able to cover your man. Go to God on his behalf. Rebuke the enemy. Get up early in the morning and pray for your family. Sometimes you may stay up later at night praying for your family. Our husbands are the head of our homes, the head of our families. They are the leaders. They are responsible for providing for us, okay, for leading us spiritually and naturally. And so that is a heavy load. That is a responsibility that God has given them. And as their helpers, we need to make sure that we are building them up in the Lord and that we are covering them in prayer. All right, ladies, number 2 is to ask your man what he needs you to help him accomplish today. This is something that I like to ask my husband on a daily basis because although, as his wife, there are certain things that I know that I want to do on a daily basis. I want to make sure, that he eats. I want to make sure that he has clean laundry, to put on and things like that. There are also things that he may have to do that I can help him get done. So even for instance, with laundry, let's say you've already done laundry, but there is a shirt that your husband, may want to wear tomorrow that is not clean. Okay, when you ask him, honey, is there anything that you need me to do for you today? Or what can I help you accomplish today? He may say, well, you know what, babe? I really want to wear my red striped shirt tomorrow for my meeting. It's in the hamper. Do you mind washing that? That's something that you can do for your honey. Okay, asking him that question on a daily basis just to see, and also shows a level of consideration for your husband. It shows that you are thinking about him. It shows thoughtfulness and care, that he is on your mind. So don't forget to ask your husband on the daily, honey, what can I help you accomplish today? All right, ladies, we're on to number 3, and that is to be encouraging and kind with your actions and your words. You don't want to be that wife that is tearing your husband down, that is nagging him, that is constantly complaining about everything. You want to be the wife that is encouraging her husband, that is building him up in the Lord and not tearing him down. You want to say things and you want to instill things. You want to plant seeds of life. You want to water those things that are already there. You don't want to, you don't want to uproot seeds that are growing and that are sprouting. You don't want to kill his dreams. You don't want to steal his joy. You want to be his sense of peace. You want to be that reminder that even in this crazy world, even when things are going bad, even when circumstances may not be aligning in the way in which you have hoped, that he can find a sense of solitude and comfort and rest in the presence of his wife, that he can go to you after being beat down from the world. He can come home and he can have a wife that's going to encourage him. So let's just, say your husband had a terrible day and he may have come in and you ask him, how his day was, and he opens up to you and he shares that he had a very tough conversation with his boss and he got chewed out, and he's saying all the things, nasty things that his boss said to him. So instead of you analyzing the situation in your head and saying, well, why didn't you defend yourself? Why didn't you say such and such? I can't believe that you just sat there and just let him say that to you, right? Don't have that type of response. You want to have the type of response that comforts your husband, okay? Sometimes that just may be a simple hug. Baby, come here. Honey, I'm so sorry that you had such a rough day. Baby, I just want you to know that I love you. I hear you. And I want you to know that you are safe, that you are at home. And we're going to make this a peaceful evening. And you just build your husband up. Honey, you are a great leader. You are awesome. And I know you heard some discouraging things today, but baby, I want to remind you how great you are. I want to remind you of the wonderful, amazing man of God that you are. And you just keep on going and you keep on building your husband up. You encourage him with your words. You encourage him with your actions. You be that place of peace. All right, ladies, number 4 is to take off more versus adding on more. Now, what do I mean by that? Take off more, okay? I'm not talking about clothes, but you can do that too. But ladies, what I mean by that is if your husband is working, okay, even if he's at home, don't add more to his plate. If it's his day off of work, don't come to him first thing in the morning. Hey, I have a list, honey, of what I need you to do today. I need you to go check the garage. I need you to go past the car shop. I need you to call so-and-so. I need you to fix this cabinet in here that's been, creaking for the last 6 months. I need you. No. You don't want to add more onto his plate. You want to take off. If it's his day off, what can you do to help him unwind? Maybe you can massage his feet. Massage his shoulders, get him his favorite blanket, let him watch a show that he hasn't watched in forever because he's always at work. Whatever you can do to take a little bit of the load off, right? Same thing when he's at work. If he's at work, don't text your husband how, you need to come home to get these kids. They're driving me crazy. I had this type of day, blah, blah, blah. Your husband is at work, providing for your family, probably taking crap from people, co-workers, clients, customers, whatever, his boss, right? That he doesn't want to take, but he's taking it because he's providing for your family. And he's trying to keep you all in mind. He may even be feeling like, man, I want to quit this job, but he's not going to do it because of his family. And he's trying to keep you on his mind. And the whole time you texting him, I am so sick of blah, blah, blah. Oh, I haven't slept. Oh, the kids, they're getting on my nerves. Oh my gosh, there's so much to do. I don't know what I'm going to make for dinner. What do you want? All of this stuff, you're just spilling out stuff, putting stuff on him. You're causing him to be stressed. And then when he comes home and he's not Mr. Happy-Go-Lucky after being tired, beat up at work all day, and then nagged by you all day long through your text messages or your phone calls, and then you expect him to come home and to feel at peace or to be happy to see you? And not to say that he would be unhappy to see you, but think about it. If you've been receiving complaining texts from your wife all day long, and now in your mind you're like, okay, my wife, I'm coming home to a wife that's frustrated. I'm coming home to a wife who is exhausted, frustrated. She said she didn't have a shower. The kids are screaming. So, okay, I'm going to come home to screaming kids. She probably hasn't made dinner because she's so frustrated. The house is going to be dirty. Like, if you're already conditioning your mind to come home to that, how do you think you're going to walk in the door, right? And then you walk in the door and your wife is immediately, I'm so glad you're home. Take these kids. I'm gone, right? I don't want your marriages to be weighed down and oppressed by negativity and oppression of the mind and stress and frustration. I want you ladies to think before you act, before you speak and say, I'm about to say, is this something that is going to add more weight to his plate? Or is this something that I can do to take a little bit off? Even down to your actions. If you are going through a financial hardship and you are on Amazon and you are spending and racking up the credit card bill because you can't practice self-control and not buy anything, and your husband's already stressed out about finances, how are you taking more off? You're adding more on. Now he's like, okay, well, I was already stressed and I already had allocated money for these bills and for this in the savings account. But now I have to take this $600 that I was going to put aside for my family for a rainy day. And now I have to pay off something because my wife just had to have, this new purse or this new perfume and this new rug and all of the things that she saw on Instagram and Facebook. So be mindful with your actions as well as your words if you are adding more onto his plate or if you're taking more off and making things easier for him. Because when you make things easier for him, you're being a better helpmate. All right, ladies, tip number 5, last but not least, and that is to reserve energy and attention just for him. Ooh, this is an important one because we as homemakers, we do so much, at home, just taking care of the household, making sure that the atmosphere is set, not just naturally, but spiritually. We're praying, we're interceding. We have children that we're taking care of. If you're a mother, we're cooking, we're cleaning, we're doing all of these different things, right? And sometimes you get tired, especially if you're in a season of life where you're being stretched a little bit further than you may usually be. And so at that point, you may just use up all your energy for the day. And then when your husband gets home and he wants to spend time with you, he wants to love on you, right? He wants to pull from you or lean on you. And you're exhausted all the time. You don't have any energy for him. And you say things like, babe, I'm sorry. I'm trying to listen to how your day was, but I'm just so exhausted because I had to do all of these things or whatever it may be. I know that it's hard, and I'm not saying that every day you're just going to have this boatload of energy, but I want you to prioritize reserving some of that, reserving some of your energy, your time and attention just for your husband, just for your baby, just for your boo, okay? Save some just for him. That's going to make him feel so special. That's going to make him feel like he is your number one priority. It's going to make him feel very important. At times, ladies, we don't even realize how much we can unintentionally kind of push our husbands to the back burner because we're dealing with the kids and the house and trying to keep up everything. And then we don't fill their cup. You are a wife. Don't forget that with your title of homemaker, with your responsibility of homemaker, that you have a responsibility to be a wife to your husband. So that means being available to him mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, being available to your husband being a listening ear. Be quick to listen and slow to speak. Sometimes you can learn a whole lot about your husband or how you need to respond to him just by listening and not always interjecting and having to share your opinion without being asked, right? But just waiting and just listening to your man. Making time to just hear him, to put your phone away, right? If your husband is talking to you and he's opening up to you, girl, what are you doing on social media? What are you doing trying to take a picture and y'all are trying to have a moment? Reserve that time, attention, and that energy for him. Be present in the moment. And don't be one of those wives who's always too sleepy for sex. I'm gonna just say that. Don't be that wife, okay? I understand that, sometimes you may be tired or, you may happen to fall asleep on accident or things like that. Things happen sometimes, right? But don't be that wife that neglects her husband sexually and just expects him to just be all right with it, right? Like, no. God has created that intimacy and given it to you all as a married couple between a man and a woman as a gift that you can unwrap as many times as you want to, okay? And so be mindful of that. Make yourself available for him. You're gonna have a video on ways in which you can remain sexy, for your husband and all of those different things. And I definitely give some good tips in that video. So if y'all haven't seen the video, I'm gonna link it here and I'll also have it in the description box. But make sure that you check that video out, okay, ladies? Make sure that you also grab a copy of my Feminine Hygiene Tips Pocket E-Guide. It is only $10 on my website, habitsofahomemaker.com, so that you can be as fresh, okay, for your husband and for yourself, and that you can feel good, smell good, look good, all of those things. Share tips with you all in my Pocket E-Guide, so be sure to grab your copy. I want to hear from you. Share and leave a comment down below and give me something that you do to be a better helper to your husband every day. Let's share some tips and wisdom in the comments and get this conversation started. I would love to hear from you all. I love you ladies so much. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I pray that it was edifying and blessed you in some way. Until next time, love you ladies. Bye.